I've had a few ill scares lately, mate, but it's mental. Anyway, 7 praise to you, and I'll leave you a Peter with the pain. It's free, it's a chat. W.D.R.G G0CDX, so 737 free you as well. I'll call back to those now, yeah, okay, no, I'm not playing so much radio these days. But I am due to go into hospital on Wednesday the 11th at 7:30 in the morning for a bit of an operation. So I'm confined to barracks at the moment. I've been for the last 2 weeks. I can't catch any infections on the chest. If I do, the operation won't go ahead. I've had a listen here, a listen there. It's not good in places where I've been listening. Well, no, I'm not going to fall out with you over it. We're all entitled to our opinions, definitely. Well, I do admire that lad. Obviously, he's got some form of learning disability. And, well, I think really, it's only how I see it, I think. He needs a bit of encouragement. Not too much, but just crazy here and there. I think he's doing the world of good. So whenever I have a listen now, there's always somebody making comments on it. He'll probably do whatever they do, which won't sort of help the situation. So I'll let it go on for me. Somebody tells me left, I'll always go right. They tell me go keep it.
Monitoring on the D7DH, but Richard and I often mention his name. He often asks about it. But good for your voice, Des, and all the best for this stop on Wednesday. I know it's not a nice place to be, but it's in your favour, I'm sure. Carol, my wife's just got over a kidney operation where one of them was removed, and just give you some support. Yes, she's not exactly as she has at the moment. She's been quite building for a couple of years. She got what it was like to feel good and well, and get up with a smile on your face. So I know none of us like operations, but I'm sure it's done for the best, and you will feel better for it afterwards, Des. Good for your voice, mate, anyway. I don't know if you've heard Jay on today or whether you've had a chat with him. You can come back on that one. And 7 people will catch you further down, mate. As you pick it up from M7 UKPF.
I have heard Jay on today, actually. I've spoken to him. It's the first time I've heard Jay on for quite a while. I must say, I've got to be honest. There's been a vast improvement in Jay's audio. What I've heard today. Yeah, just catch up with it. Not too distant future. The operation, no, I don't fear the operation. I told them 5 years ago, take it off now if you want. Every time I'm having hospital, take it off now if you want. But what the problem is, I've got COPD. Chronic COPD. I was down in Stanford 2 weeks ago, last week. He heard me coughing coming down there. He said, you've got a chest infection, we will not push you on and water out of step. What's happened now? Of course, since that, I haven't had a cold antibiotic again. Steroids. So yeah, fine with that. Yeah. Well, that's good. I'm haven't got to do this on. It's for a life over. If you don't know what a life over is, this particular one is about as big as a rugby ball, which is right on the base of my neck. I want to keep my head up. Oh, I don't know. Go down, I slip on my side, I wait for a bit of pain. Some sleeping tablets help me sleep. No, we don't want to do that. Drag actually for the last 5 years, probably. Anyway, winter and end. But I'm still convinced myself that it won't happen. Because where it is, I'm not scandal. Where it is, it's very, very close to you. Spinal cord. And if we open it up and it's looking a bit, we'll just feel you back up. So I'm pretty sure it won't take place. But anyway, we live in hope. Back to you, Peter. Go on.
Samson UKP returning. Yeah, Roger. Yes, I know what you mean. You just hope that you know what they're on about and they'll, treat it as you want it to be treated, not as they want it to be treated. You're the one they've got to please, and I know they're there for you, but they shouldn't want your instructions really. And probably just frightens them a little bit to what it's attaching itself to. And that's the dilemma, isn't it? The same Carol in the beginning. She didn't realise that she needed it out until they actually got in there. And it was a natural process where we really try to repair itself. It's doing that. It's happening the organs supplies of the building to the central. Because of that, it's real serious. It's 4.5 hour operation. And you see those images at the beginning where they are. Here's that's anything. Trying to get away from surgeons and the other general and get a ride job. It's certainly better out than in. Yes, I think that's you want it gone, don't you? Especially if it's disturbing your sleep. But it's one thing having an ailment, and it's just multiplied by 10, isn't it? You're not sleeping well because it's just up on your mind all the time, So I do hope the result is in your favour, mate, and it's when you wake up it's going to be cold. Rather you get some grub and a bit desperate, I'll put it back to you for one more and then we'll be out for you. But I do hope it goes in your favour, mate, not in theirs on Wednesday.
My place, what will it be? Yeah, it's been very, very difficult. Can't sort of keep my head up. Around about an hour and a half. Like having a two things which never goes away. Gotta be jumping. Too long before I don't go to bed. I don't lie on the bed. I might nod off about 11 or something like that. I don't climb into the bed. It's a bit too warm for that. So we'll see. Anyway, all that's coming. Got to go and check my traps and stuff. But, before I do that, take some medication. Yeah, okay, I'll let you go. Nice hearing you on. I'm going to bid you all the best, and you, Paul, if you're still monitoring. This is Dewey 0XCB.
Mike 7, uniform Kilo Papa, standing by.
This is Mike 7 Charlie Sierra, just a pre-warning that the Wales Ragchew Net will begin in 4 minutes and 22 seconds. CQNorthwest links up to the W.D.R.G for the Wales Ragchew Net. Just a little announcement out the way, I'll catch you at 19:30 for the Wales Ragchew Net.
I had a phone call then. What's the net just came on here? I got the volume down on the radio. Was this some sort of net? Or is it net? What's running? I couldn't hear anything, George. That's why I put everything quiet. This is 20XCB. You're listening. Desmond, is that you? I don't believe it. CC, bonjour, portable. I heard you on earlier today. Why didn't that get returning to you? Anyway, I knew what the problem was. It's a bit of a jaunt on this particular. In actual fact, I might even take it out this evening to put the 400 back in line. Yeah, what the problem is, there is a problem on 2 meters. There's not a problem on 6 meters. There's not a problem on the 23 SEMs. The problem lies with this radio on 70 SEMs, because there's that many different repeater shift combinations. You've got a 1.6, 5 meg. What else have you got? You've got to kind of just think anyway. There's a 9,000 kilohertz split. There's another one. But anyway, there's far too many of them. And what happens with this radio, even retained in memory inside it, you can put something in memory number 1, yeah, everything's in there, go on the repeater, open it up, talk to your heart's content. Move that repeater shift, although it's retained in memory, move that repeater shift to come on this repeater, and it knocks the memory repeater, it follows it the same. I don't know why, something quirky with these 991As, but there you are. So I did hear you on earlier today, I'll give you a call, and you never came back. And of course, that was the reason I've got the wrong repeater shift on. Go ahead.
Hey, come on, Desi, you're always taking people to task about the sounds of their audios and this, that and the rest, and HubNet, and you know what? Ha ha! Oh, come on, Desi. Slap. Slap for you, sunshine. I thought you were Mr. Perfect. Like I think. Yeah, yourself. Not really. Don't know how long it'll last, Des. I've still got this rotten chest cough. I'm heaving tablets down me like there's no tomorrow. And I saw what you sent through to me. I found that interesting, Des, that picture you sent to me. It was, you know, across the back of your shoulders. I thought this was a circular lump at the base of your neck, but it is obviously not. We don't need to go into detail. If I was on something earlier on today and you called back, obviously I would have naturally turned. I did hear, G8NAI, Jay, he was putting a call out this morning, late this morning, for his mate at M7, the UDK Peter, who I think was last. I think he's mobile, I think he's Whitby, or was. I went back to Jay, but he chose not to speak to me. And I don't think I've upset him, but there you go. Maybe he just purely wanted to speak to him, which is fair enough. So I'm rather surprised, Des. You've normally had your tablets and gone by 7 o'clock at night. So you've caught me out sideways. No, I'm not down to the pub because I've got this chest infection. While I'm standing, it's not too bad. I'm part way through the tablets. In any case, it's a party night for daughter and son-in-law at Heron's Park in Lydd. I don't think it's anything too special. I don't think son-in-law wanted to go. He would have preferred to be in the pub with me tonight. But I wasn't to be so, Des. I hope you got that. D0XCB, G79 Delta.
Oh, what a pause. Right, well, firstly, let me start. Yeah, I am. I'm an audio connoisseur, I'll be quite honest with you. Nobody will fool me regarding audio. If the audio's not good, I'll tell you. But there you are. No, my repeater shift is nothing to do with audio. It's just something which is very, very strange with this particular radio. I had a conversation. I rang Waters and Stanton up a few days ago. Told them what I was after. I was after an adapter. Now I said, I know there's probably a mismatch in the microphone and the radio, but I'm curious whether there's anything available. And he said, I'll get I'll get somebody else to ring you back. I said, yeah, okay. When he rang back 2 or 3 minutes later, and he said, have you got a pen there? I said, yeah. He said, well, I'll give you this telephone number. It's for YSU UK. He said, and you need to speak to a chap named Carl. Tell him what you want. And if the thing exists, he'll know about it. So anyway, he did ring me. I did ring YSU UK. He was on another line, but he rang me back. We had about a 40-minute conversation. Most of it was to do with this 991. Now, he was under the impression, he's totally wrong, I ought to ring back and put him right, actually. He was under the impression that you can use, he knows all about the quirky part with the repeater shift. But he was suggesting you could use it duplex, which means you set up somewhere and you transmit somewhere else. But it's exactly the same. I've tried that, set it all up, exactly the same. The moment you move the repeater shift, poof, it's useless. So, I don't know how these go on. I don't know how these go on who program the radios through a computer program. I've no idea. I've never heard of anybody else having a problem, but I'm doing it manually, you see. I don't own a computer, I don't know what one. Yeah, okay, with your chest infection. Well, what the problem is here, I'm under house arrest here. I can't leave the house at the moment. I haven't been able to for the last week because I can't afford to get a chest infection. Otherwise, this operation will not take place. Now, you've hit the nail on the head. You thought it was a lump on the neck. It's not. It's right on. Just taking my time out there. The lump is right on the baseline for my spinal cord. And this is what the problem's been all along. Will they do the operation or won't they do the operation? And they keep chucking spokes in the wheel, which they've done for the last 5 years. And he told me, I'll tell you what happened on me yesterday. I had the hospital ring me yesterday. Can you come down to do some breathing, coming down on the breathing machine, do some breathing for us, we need. I said, are you guaranteeing me a parking space to come down? And she said, well, no. I said, well, I ain't coming. What do you mean? I said, I was down there yesterday, Doc. It took me 40 minutes. I was running around there for 40 minutes, along with a dozen other cars, chasing parking spaces, which don't exist. I said, in the end, I collared one of the car park attendants who said to me, what do you expect me to do about it? I said, so unless there's a parking space for me, I am not coming down. Well, you could catch the bus. I said, listen, Doc, I'm disabled. Where the bus route goes through there, that's like a marathon for me to walk from the bus stop down to the main building. I said, come on, you're talking to an old timer. It's not going to happen. She said, well, it might, the operation might not take place. I said, I'm expecting that anyway. I am, Richard. Back to you, go ahead.
Okay, Desi, you press on with it. I know I've been pushing at you for ages. Nobody else will. And there's only you, yourself, you and your wife, if you want to go ahead with this. I believe that you've been on, I don't know what discomfort it gives you, Des. It doesn't look that bad. I mean, from that picture you sent, it isn't a big circular lump right at the base of the neck, the top of the spine. It seems to be spread across evenly. So I'm thinking if you've got a couple of 2 or 3 fluffy pillows that you sleep on, it shouldn't be too bad. But I believe that you told me that you are on tablets because it did give you some problems. What they were, Des, I don't know. Back to you. Well, I'm on them tablets now. They haven't been
I haven't been on any painkillers for about 2 years for it. I'll tell you what the tablets were. They're called gabapentin, and they're they're a painkiller for the nervous system, and it's the nerves of this lipoma, whatever it's connected to in the body, and that's why I was on this gabapentin. So I started off, I don't know, 10 or 12 years ago, with a very, very low dose. And then as time goes, I was taking 3 a day, and as time goes on, they're doing nothing now. So they're okay, they increased the dose. Time went on a bit, doing nothing that increased the dose. Well, anyway, I was on a 500 milligram tablet, 3 of them a day, and they were as big. I'm not joking. They were as big as a torpedo licorice sweet. You know how big them are. They were that big, and they were causing me problems. I was taking them, and I was taking one, bang, go to sleep. So I used to look forward to having them when it was bedtime, because they'd help me to sleep. But anyway, I was having problems with them. So I said to the doctor, look, I'm having no more of them gabapentin. I've got problems with them. They're sending me to sleep, not helping with the pain either. And she said, well, we might have to bring you off them steadily, withdrawal symptoms. I said, no, I haven't taken any for a fortnight. I've got no intention of ever taking any more. I'm off them. Oh, right, okay. I said, well, you can give me something to help me sleep. Oh, no, we can't do that. Why? Well, sleeping tablets, we don't agree with them. They're very, very addictive. I said, it can't be any more bloody addictive than the gabapentin I've just chucked the bloody things in the bin with. Anyway, do you want it? No. But I've had lots and lots of problems at our local hospital over the last month. Sue here, she says, I'm surprised they haven't struck you off. I said, it doesn't matter to me if they do. I'll just take it to the ombudsman, the tricks they've been doing. But they don't know who they're dealing with me. In most cases, I don't know how many people are under that doctors. Let's say, for argument's sake, there's 5,000. Probably more than that. And they can manipulate and tell all these 5,000 people what's going to happen, what they're going to do, what they're not going to do for them. But in my case, it's because the National Health Service says there must be an emergency standby pack in my possession at all times for when I have problems. You tell our doctors that? No. You'll come in here, you'll be examined, we will send a speckle sample off, we'll see what that says before we'll issue any antibiotics. And I've said to him, I said, listen, if you don't give me an emergency standby kit, I want to speak to the head one here in this surgery. You don't give me an emergency standby kit, I'm going to take it to the ombudsman and tell him the tricks as you're doing here. My God. She sent the receptionist across to the chemist to get the emergency kit, and she put it in my hand before I left that office there. Go ahead.
With a pause, Des, because I'm sure we've got some listeners on board. Talking to a guy about you earlier on today.
Oh, is that you?
What was I on?
You know,
I don't know.
You must have seen him
Probably on,
queuing up and excited him. He said, like, I spoke to you for ages. So he must have forgotten about us. But there we are, never mind. It is a shame if we lost Mike Chris M7CCS from W.D.R.G.
Yeah, Mike 7, Charlie Sierra, yeah, but I think we seem to have lost Michael, but of course we have resumed audio over onto the live stream, I think. I've always got a backup plan, it just wasn't plugged. So I think that I've resumed audio over there. So Yep, yep, I can see that we have live stream over on the log bit. I'll check it, put it to the net, and then of course, yeah, in about a minute's time I'll find out whether I've got that. So I'm now actually getting all the comments from YouTube. Of course, I had to be into other stuff to actually try and remedy a solution whilst we were going. So luckily I use all my own screen antics there. So yeah, that's all good. So yeah, I don't know how hot the audio will be. Of course, but it doesn't sound all that actually coming back through my iPhone. So all good there. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to go round to N6 UTC. I have seen comments on YouTube as well. I did see you through the radio, and yeah, you were a bit confused hearing two things through his radio. Back over to you there, N6 UTC.
Yeah, hi Chris, it's NDAV, 6UTC here in Long Beach, California. Well, it's coming up to 10 to 11 in the morning. Yeah, I turned on my smart TV to listen while I'm doing, you know, my Saturday domestic chores, because that's the kind of life I lead. And I was hearing something that I didn't recognize. Then I turned the radio on, and I thought maybe my thing had dropped out, the hotspot had dropped out, because I wasn't hearing anything. So I keyed up, and that's where you saw me. And then I was hearing two different things. What is going on here? Anyway, it's all back. Looks like it's all synced again. This is my one and only over, because I still got things to do around the house, probably listening via YouTube. And then I'm heading to HRO later this afternoon. Ham Radio Outlets, which is kind of like the big dealer out here in the U.S. And I just got back from Oregon last week. I was up there for a show, and back now down here in Southern California. All right. Talk to you later, Chris, and everybody else. N6 UTC. Well.
Yeah, Mike 7, Charlie Sierra. Yep, thanks for coming in, having an over, and yeah, it was all jumbled there. So we go round to Rod. I saw one. I checked you in. G0 EUZ.
G0 EUZ. Good evening, everybody. And special hello to end off there. Not heard you in a bit. So, yeah, nice to be on. Yeah, I was confused to begin with. Well, I wasn't confused. I could see what was going on, but obviously, you know, for a while we weren't going to have a net, were we? So, Chris, you did very well putting that off. And we're all good now. So, not a lot happening at this side. I've not done any radio. I've been, I decided to sort the shower out at our upstairs shower. It needed a good clean and siliconing and repairing the grout, etc. So that's been 3 days so far, and I'm nowhere near done yet. That silicone sticks, doesn't it? That's the trouble. Can't get it off. Anyway. We're getting there, and I need to redo the grouting now, and then finally get back onto the get some new silicone in. So we'll see how we go. So yes, I've not done any rain as such. Perhaps I'm walking the dog and I'm just listening then. Can't walk and talk at the same time. So back to you, Chris. M7CCS G0 EUZ.
Yeah, Mike 7, Charlie Sierra. Well, thanks very much there, Rod. And yeah, people that watch the live stream, if they turn the audio up, they'd have realised what was happening there. And yeah, I was a bit like, oh, what's going on here? But of course, yeah, it's all good there. So yeah, luckily I've got my little connector, and it still works. I plugged them in managed to reconfigure, get some audio on the live stream, so we got the correct audio live stream. I think that might be my best bet from now on. Keep it on there, but as a backup, and keep that game in line. But of course, yeah, it always happens, doesn't it? But of course, radio in the week there as well. But yeah, I can see, yeah, station is still going off over on CQ Northwest, and of course, yeah, I actually posted the live stream link over there as well, and yeah, it all went off like that. So unfortunate, but of course, yeah, heard them all say it hold off on network for taking it over, and yeah, it seems that they wanted to do it to another one. Hi. So we go round to James in Evesham. He's sat in the Echolink 2E0 Victor Whiskey Juliet.
Victor Whiskey Juliet, yeah, evening all. Yeah, I didn't tell you what was going on to start with. I thought maybe I was lost the plot, but there you go, I'm glad it wasn't me, and it seems to be resolved now. And yeah, following on from Rob's theme, I've been quite busy for radio the last few weeks. It's partly business is a lot busier. I think we've had a couple of very wet summers, and I've got used to being quiet, I think, and it's just gone mad this year. So I've been a bit sort of, by the time I hit the chair, I was sort of excited to get to do anything else, but I've been kind of sorting out central heating boiler. I haven't actually opened the thing up, but there was a lot of air in the system, and it's been like it for some years really, and the cupboard bit the boiler's in, it's all full of junk and God knows what. So it was a big task to clear it out to get anywhere near the thing, and by luck I found a drain down valve leaking, and it was quite weird because it was in the dark corner of the cupboard, and I thought, that looks like it's leaking, and by the time I cleared the cupboard out it was as dry as a bone, and it turned out it sort of fills itself up when it gets warm, and yeah, I found it leaking, so I changed it. And it actually looked like there was no washer inside it. I changed the guts of it, and all's good. So I was real pleased with that. So yeah, it was quite a big job, but clearing the cupboard out. But there you go. And so I then realised that I haven't been on the radio for quite a while, so I thought, right, I better get back into it and leave some of these chores to another day. Anyway, I'll put it back to Chris from 20 DWJ.
Yeah, Mike 7, Charlie Sierra. Well, yeah, you decided to do it when we were going to get mayhem at the beginning. But of course, yeah, it was just unfortunate. And at the end of the day, we're still having our net. We still managed to pull the network, although it can sort it out ourselves. So, yeah, it's good that the team were on hand there. I'm seeing a slight droppy on me, but I'm going into my own gateway, and then through our system. But yeah, the system had a bit of a shock. It didn't get many gaps in, did it? So all good. So yeah, hopefully Monty hasn't got a mouthful of anything. 2W1 TER.
No, yes he has. Sorry. Shut me in next, please.
Okay, I'll put you round on the next round. So I've got Andy is listening over in Swansea. So of course, Yeah, well, over that way anyway. You were saying about WW not working and everything. I've got another call sign, M7EMH. He is networking at the moment to find out what went on, kind of thing, and hope for a fail-safe so it does happen again. But yeah, it's all good, of course. Where all the talking was going on, there's normally announcements, and there are announcements to tell you. So there wasn't a lot of excuse, because I heard the announcements. But, of course, yeah, people who say their radios were off, they didn't hear them, etc. But anyway, we're down to check-ins. So, if you'd like to check in to the Wales Ragchew Net, go ahead with your call sign, name, and location.
W3WMP, N23.
Yeah, MW3WMP, nice to get you there. And, of course, yeah, got you in the log there. We'll see if there's anyone else, and we'll come back to you. If you'd like to be number 10 into the Wales Ragchew Net, go ahead with your call sign, name and location. Okay, nothing heard, so we go straight round to MW3WMP and see what he's been up to this week, how long he's been listening, and of course then we will go up to the top of the list. Michael, if you are listening via the YouTube, if you connect directly to the XLX042D, you will get to us, and that's what you need to do. So he may have given apologies and he might not be with us, but I'll chuck him a little message in a minute. But we go round to MW3WMP, and of course, yeah, I've not got the personal in the system, but I do recognise the call sign. Over to you there.
Yes, the name this end is Grill, Golf Whiskey India, and I live about 3 miles from Portmaddock. Had a fairly busy week this week. Had some friends staying, and they just went away this morning. It's funny, isn't it, when there are people staying in your property. It's something you have to get used to. I certainly couldn't run a hotel. Anyway, yeah, they enjoyed themselves, and the weather was kind, luckily enough. It rained during the night, and we had some really nice days. Even today wasn't too bad. So we've been lucky like that. So don't believe everything the weatherman tells you if you're living in this part of the world. And I notice I'm getting busier now, locally. The holiday season started. And unfortunately, the weather hasn't caught up with it yet. But we live in hope. And so that's what this week has been about. And then I had to stock up again this morning for all the stuff that's been devoured through the last week. So we're back to normal now. And next week will be some sort of normality. So that's great, yeah. So nice to let me in. And I'll put it on back to you now, Chris. M7CCS.
Mike 7, Charlie Sierra, thanks so much there, Quill. Of course, yeah, the bit that I do me log on is playing up a little bit. I'm trying to actually raise the log so that people can see, but it's saying nada. So I'll go out of it and go back into it again and try and interact with it again, and we'll see what happens. There we go. I've got you in there, Quill. Right, what we do, we go up to Steve, GW5VOG at the top of the list there, and over to you there.
GW5VOG returning. Yeah, thank you, Chris. Good evening to everyone. We've got a few people on now. Actually, not really relevant, but we've got 5 people, I think, in Wales out of 9. So that's unusual and very good for the Wales Digital Radio Group. Yeah, the 2 guys are still rabbiting on CQ Northwest. And I think one of them said about quarter an hour ago, well, I must go now, but he's still talking. Shame about Michael. I imagine he can't get on to XLX. Maybe he can, I don't know. Anyway, yeah, so I'll come straight in with the food porn now, because he's missing. I had something which I quite often do on Saturday for some reason, I'm not sure why. Poached salmon, boiled potatoes, a bit of parsley sauce, and strips of carrot. That was rather nice. I think I've got some cheesecake, Mandarin cheesecake. When I finish doing this, I'll be scoffing that I didn't have enough time to eat it before the net started, although I did actually, because the net started 10 minutes late, didn't it? Actually, I think you're too polite, Chris. That's the problem. You should have got on and told them to get off the talk group. But I know there are fellow amateur radio people, and we've all got to look after each other. But there we are. Perhaps it's a good thing that you didn't shout at them. They seem a bit, like, I don't know, like old timers that say weird things to me. But there we are. We mustn't criticise. They might think what we say sounds weird, mightn't they? Oh, definitely in my case. Anyway, 141 seconds. Let's say I'm being good looking at the timer, so I better hand back to you, M7CCS from GW5EOG. Back to you, Chris.
Yeah, Mike 7, Charlie Sierra. Yeah, and unfortunately, we've got some new people that wanted to join in via those links on CQ Northwest as well. I'm getting some messages now on the YouTube. James Stone, and it'd be nice for him in, he said. But yeah, unfortunately, it's down to it's down to about 2-3 call signs. Unfortunately, and they came on literally 1 minute before the net was due to start, and started having a full QSO. And of course, they were putting the world to rights about other networks being the fact that they're not allowed to have free reign on it and whatever. Of course, CQ Northwest does have announcements that go out that make people aware that there's a net, I'm not letting it bother me, because of course, a lot of the commentary, you could take it to heart and go, oh yeah, they've just gone there to mess up something, but we disconnected out, and that's why having a standalone network is a good option. Because of course, you can disconnect the problem and carry on. There are other ways in, James, if you're listening on YouTube. So if you actually check out W.D.R.G, that is an Echolink way in. So you can get in that way. There's a WiresX way in. There's a DMR route via the XLX server. So you can get in there, or just find a WiresX RF repeater. But unfortunately, it's not our fault, unfortunately, that that you're not able to join there, James. And we would like to get you on future Ragchew Nets. So of course, like I said, if you check out www.wdrg.uk, it is scrolling across the live stream. Of course, you will find all the ways that you can connect in and join in when I call for check-ins. I'm going to look where I was. Right, so we're going to go round to Rod next, G0, EUZ.
G0 EUZ, back to the group, yeah. I'll receive that. Yeah, weather-wise, it's been strange. I mean, we were expecting some severe storms, and well, not storms, just heavy rain. Where I am, we do flood the lots of the garden if we get a lot of rain at one go. So last night, before I went to bed, I rigged up a pump, you know, to pump out into the sewers. And of course, it has rained, but hardly anything to note. I should imagine the farmers wanted a lot more than we got. But there we go. It's supposed to be quite nice next week, isn't it? So that'll be nice. I don't mind at all. Although the dog field that I go on is so badly cracked, I'm worried about, you know, throwing the ball for the dog, because he might break a leg going down a hole or a crack. So I've stopped throwing the ball for at the time being. While he's ambling on, he can see where he's going. So there we go. But apart from that, yeah, I don't know if we're going to the dog field tomorrow. My son-in-law hasn't let us know whether he's booked it or not, so he'll probably tell us at the last minute. But no worries. So apart from that, yeah, I missed Sutty's net on Wednesday because I was doing a speed watch. So I think I've got a few more on the Wednesdays, which are a bit awkward. You know, they're 5 till 6 they are, so it's not worth. Well, unless they're you know, they're near to where I am. And I've got to travel there, so, you know, it doesn't leave me with enough time. So never mind. So back to you, Chris, M7CCS G0 EUZ.
Yeah, Mike 7, Charlie Sierra. Well, it's the same with this net. You can't always make the net. But of course, yeah, it gives you that little bit more to talk about next time you come, doesn't it? And I'm sure it'll all be in our minds next week if Michael comes to us and he goes, "Oh, I couldn't get in," yeah, well, he'd know the reason why if that's where he's connected. But he was like that, you know, there was another chat going on. Yeah, it's well. The only one word I will put on it, and this is being very, very nice for me. The only word on it is etiquette. That's the word. That's the topic for today. You know, the word for today, etiquette. That's all it needs. You know, even if you're using W.D.R.G network, you know, if you're calling out in the week. If you're using a repeat, normally it's etiquette, isn't it? To actually call, is it in use, all that sort of thing. But that's the only word I'll put on it is etiquette. So that's all good. But yeah, we get off that subject. We've got ourselves a net anyway. So of course it probably shook a few people up as well who don't normally listen because they were like, "Oh, what's going on?" They've turned their radio on. They might join us. So we will now go round to James 2E0 Victor with Juliet. Round to you there, James.
2-0 Victor Whiskey Juliet. Yeah, it's the weather is a bit of a funny one, wasn't it, today? I think everybody was expecting, like, you know, I thought it was going to be a bit of a take on the end of the world, but it wasn't really much more than a few showers, really. I think there was one heavy sort of shower this afternoon, but it wetted the ground nicely, but it didn't really stop general sort of getting on with stuff. So, yeah, suitably fine, really. Enough water for the garden, but not enough to stop you doing what you wanted to do. But it does make you wonder some of these forecasts, because it did look pretty atrocious when they forecasted it, but there you go. Like someone said, you can't always believe the weatherman. But usually when it's bad, they get it right, that's the thing. But there you go. On the what I've been doing this week, what haven't I been doing? I've been taking the engine out of the vehicle, which is a bit of a game, but it's out. It's got to have a new clutch in it, so I've been doing a little bit each day, because as you get older, it takes its toll. So I do enough before it starts becoming a bit of a I can't get off the floor again type saga. And I did make a cake on the foodborne thing. I made one of those sort of country slices, you know, like one of those, what you might call an exceedingly good recipe. It turned out pretty well, actually. So it's sort of a bit of a throw together thing, really. But yeah, it turned out quite nice. I used to make cakes quite often, but that was probably when we had those wet summers and you couldn't do anything else. But it's been quite pleasant this year so far, so it's been quite nice to get out in the garden and potter about. Oh, I did do my back in a few weeks ago. That's another saga. That was, I was in extreme pain, and I could barely get from one room to the next, so that was, that took me off the radio for a week at least. I couldn't get anywhere, and I managed to crawl through the door to the doctor's, and they gave me a fragment of the painkiller. But luckily, the doctor was right in what she said, that I caused an injury and it was actually gone away and was actually getting better. It didn't seem like it at the time, but it did actually quickly get better shortly after the pre-hospital visit to the doctor. Anyway, I'm not going to do the time out, so I'll put it back to Chris M7CCS from 20 Victor Whiskey Juliet.
Yeah, Mike 7, Charlie Sierra, yeah, not a problem there. So, we will try Monty, and, yeah, hopefully that food wasn't too hot, and he's enjoyed it. Round to you there, Monty, 2W1, TER.
Two Whiskey 1, Tango Echo, etiquette. What's that? Etiquette. Through the North Wales, I've been watching The Prisoner, because somebody from Channel Facebook started banging them out, and I've been getting them in my feed. And I quite liked it anyway, but I started watching them again. And it amazes me that, well, it does amaze me, but I'm still surprised at how many people don't know who number 1 is. Because we all know who number 2 is, and we all know number 6, and we all know who 134 is, but nobody claims to know who 2 is, but it's obvious. You know, I'm sure everybody knows by now. And the series has been out since the 60s, so that's 60 years ago. And people must have sussed out who number 1 is. But, yeah, I must get up to that area again. It's nice around there. 2 Whiskey 1, Tango Echo, back to you, Chris.
Yep, okay there, Monty. Thank you very much, and all good there. So, and of course, yeah, etiquette. Does Monty know what that is? He did used to be on the Charlie Bravo, so yeah, he doesn't. He knows about injury. He knows how far he can push. So, of course, yeah, next 2 stations I've got are listening, so it's round to Gwil, MW3 WMP.
Yes, I'm back again for a short while. Yeah, etiquette, yes. A code of conduct, I think, is the answer. And, yes, as the HF was a little bit more lively today. It's been pretty bad the last few weeks. Luckily, it wasn't too bad. Got a few contacts, mostly in this country, on 40. But yeah, nice to have something back again. It's been pretty flat. So, but the hope is to improve in the summer with the weather. Well, the same thing, I should think. Yes. Now then, what was I say? After spending the time to say what happened during the week, well, I've got a few jobs to do next week, so that will keep me busy. It's good to have something to do. It's like since I've retired, I'm not very good at sitting in a chair and watching the television. The evenings are bad enough, watching mostly rubbish, and so certainly can't sit in front of it during the day. I like to have things to do. And of course, it depends on the weather, what you can do outside or cut the grass, which grows quite fast these days. And so I've got some decorating to do. I'll have to make my mind up on which colour I'm going to do something. So we'll get round to it all. So that's what I've got to say, really. And I'll put it back to you again there. Getting back to you there, Chris M7CCS and repeat WMB.
Yeah, Mike, Charlie Sierra. Yeah, I've got a little bit of decorating to do. Well, a lot. But of course, yeah, I'm pretty much doing a house renovation as well. And so, of course, yeah, a lot. So, yeah, this week's progress. Pretty much, yeah, I got down the side of my alleyway, all areas which were actually council areas, but yeah, I sorted those out, and of course got that all nice and that cleaned up. Of course, finished the final door. It was a shed door, but yeah, missed the door, so yeah, done the final door, and I redid one of the windows this week because it did rain on it, so I sanded it back and redid it. It now looks lovely. So it's all good. You couldn't notice it till you got up close, but I knew it was there. So yeah, that was all done. And of course, yeah, plans. So we started taking some wallpaper off in the kitchen. Yeah, 3 layers deep and very, very well held on. So yeah. Even with the steamer, there's like this one wallpaper layer. It seems like it was built to resist the cooking and the steam, and yeah, it don't want to come off. I think I'm going to have to leave it there and just coat it in paint and use it as a base, which will make it a bit easier. It means there's only one layer to come off. But yeah, the types of wallpaper, underneath one, it actually looked like sticky back plastic and wood. Match the cabinets. So, yeah, all good there. Food this week. So, we are having a takeaway tonight and healthy kebabs. I feel that guy on the far show steps outside the shed. So, yeah, this week I've mostly been eating pasties. Hi. But, yeah, that's what you do when you're doing some work and whatever, and you do something easy. But, of course, yeah, I've had a nice meal to come home to. Donna always gives me a nice meal in the evening. So it's all good there. So if anyone else would like to check into the Wales Ragchew Net, go ahead with your call sign, name and location, and an over to be number 11. Okay, nothing heard there. I left a nice gap, so I'm now going to have to run that back. So we're going to go to the top of the list, GW5 W.D.R.G. Over to you there, Steve.
GW5VOG returning, thank you, Chris. Just an update. The two guys on CQ Northwest may well have stopped. I've got it turned on here and there's been nothing on it for about 5 minutes. So either that or my Zoom spot has given up the ghost and stopped working. So I don't know if you've got like great big switches in your room there that you can pull and turn it back on. So you could try whatever you do to turn it on. You could try and see if it's okay to go now. Yeah, I think it's back on now. I think I can hear myself coming out of it now, which is a rather strange sensation. Right, okay. Yeah, you've thrown the big switch, Chris. So, well done. And, yeah, Port Marion is the prisoner location, very near Port Maddock, where Simon lives. And we've got Gwyl on as well, who's there, so they know all about it. They could perhaps tell us who number one was. I remember the big white ball. That's all I can remember, apart from the main guy. The big white ball that used to roll along, and if you tried to escape, it would get you. So with that, back to you, Chris. I think I'm still transmitting. Yeah, M7CCS from GW5VOG. Back to the net controller, Chris.
I think something's gone a bit pear-shaped here. I'll just check that I haven't got 2E0XCP on this. It was 2E0XCP. You still there, Desi? G79 Delta.
Mike 7, Charlie Sierra. So we'll skip on ahead and we'll go and we will throw the switch back the other way. Unfortunately, that big word, etiquette. I was getting a call out to that network for people. Whiskey Alpha 5 Romeo India Papa, if you're stuck over there, come directly to W.D.R.G. And anyone else waiting for is on the side. So someone did throw the switch. I am still going through over that side. Now there's all sorts going on over there, so I think we might have thrown the switch the other way. Unfortunately, that happens there, but that's what happens when you try and chuck some analog in with a digital network, I suppose. You get that issue. And of course, the W.D.R.G network is fully analog. The only analog it's got in it is an Echolink. Should I say, we're fully digital all the rest of the way. So, you can throw the switch either way. I realised we could do that. So I say thanks to Sooty M7EMH, who has been in there and, be helping to throw that switch backwards and forwards. And try and come to a conclusion there. I'm guessing you've been in touch with Daryl there. Thanks very much there, Sooty. Unfortunately, it took up his time. He's had to be messaging when he could have been on the net. Unfortunately, so we will go next to G0EUZ, picking up the key very, very quickly.
G0EUZ. Yeah, it's unfortunate, lads. I thought we got a break there, but no chance. So that is a problem. But like you say, it's a good job I've got in the loan network anyway. That can work on its own. But it's just a shame, really. I mean, normally there's nobody on it, is there? You know, I used to monitor it at one time when I had 3 hotspots from it. I used to monitor it, and there was never anybody on it, apart from Saturday night. You know, and then this time, there we go. Just two people and non-stop. Didn't even leave big enough gaps to jump in. But there we go. Yes, decorating, horrible job, I must admit. I didn't used to mind it, I must admit. When I was younger, I did it all. This house we're in now, I mean, I did it all between 2009 and 2011. It was all completely done from top to bottom. So it all needs doing again. That's the trouble. When you do it all at one go, it all needs redoing at one go. So I shan't be doing it. We have a problem with this house with rising damp. It's been done 3 times now professionally. It was done before we moved in. We had it done and paid, just short of £5 for it. They came back and did it under warranty within the 10 years, and it's come through again. So, but it's now over the 10 years. So it's obviously not going to be curable. So, and my plan was to chip off the plaster up to 1 metre and put wall boarding in instead. You know, panelling. But no. Since I've had my knee replacement, I struggle doing jobs like that, so I shan't be bothering. So, I'll pass it back to you, Chris. M7CCS G0, he used it.
Charlie Sierra, and just to make anyone aware, over on the other network, CQNorthwest there, there are normally announcements about 15 minutes and 5 minutes before, which inform people of the Wales Ragchew Net. But of course, yeah, we have lost a few of our members that were sat over there waiting for the net tonight. But if you are still there, of course, you can check in there. But of course, we are going to carry on going round the list. Time has got on, and of course, we started late as well. So, of course, what we will do now is we will go round to the next thing in the list, which is 20 Victor Whiskey Juliet James via the Echolink.
W.D.R.G returning. Yes, the decorating. Oh, that's a subject, isn't it, really? I don't fancy that lot when you say do it all in one go, because that's a big job then, isn't it? And you're always going to be thinking, got it all to do again in one go. But no, I tend to I don't mind doing it, but I try to do something every year, so it's sort of, I'm always shooting away at it, you know. But no, I haven't got damp, I've got subsidence, so I've got this massive crack up the rear wall, which is sort of central to it's a little old cottage, and it's sort of central, sort of, you know, the stairs go up the middle, and it's sort of up that sort of middle part. But the stairs under the stairs that go down to the cellar, so there's like a cellar on the one side, and then there's like a solid floor on the other side. So I wonder whether the two aren't sort of getting along. That's why it's sort of cracking. It's a great big crack at the back wall. I must go out there and fill it up. But there's all bits, there are little cracks and stuff, so I'm always sort of going around filling bits in, and I'm thinking of putting some of that sort of insulation stuff up that will cover the plaster, you know, get a bit of insulation and then you get the cracks covered up. But generally it's not that bad, you know. It's like, you know, if it could just hang on for another sort of 50 years, probably less actually, a lot less, then they can fall down after that, because I won't be around to worry about it. But I'm sure it will hang in there. But yeah, I tend to do a little decorating here and there, keep it going along. But you know, it's like decorating's like dusting, isn't it? You know, you can end up ruining your life over it. You know, sometimes you're better off going off and doing something more exciting. But there you go. But yeah, it's a bit of a funny one, that decorating. It's nice when it's done, but I don't know many people that enjoy doing it. It's all the upheaval, isn't it, of moving all the furniture and everything. Drives you mad. So there you go. Anyway, I'll put it back to you, Chris M7CCS 20DWJ.
Yeah, Mike 7, Charlie Sierra. Well, yeah, that is an uproar of decorating, isn't it? Of course, yeah, everything goes up in the air, all the furniture's got to go somewhere, all that kind of thing. That's why I want to try and do mine before moving stuff in, but of course there is stuff in. So, yeah, I got to move. I was lucky enough to pick up a kitchen for the kitchen, and of course, yeah, that's got to go in. So I've got to try and prepare the kitchen around everything, try and get the kitchen kind of half in, and then think about something else. But of course, yeah, it's what you do when you've got limited space. But of course, yeah, the units don't take up as much space once they're actually up the side of the wall, do they? So yeah, there's that one. So yeah, of course. Yeah, and walls and preparing the walls, but of course, yeah, what you mentioned about filling everything there and everything, James, yeah, preparation is your best key. And of course, yeah, you've not been around, but yeah, I've recently painted UPVC windows, and of course, as long as you key them, wash them, sand them, and get all that good preparation, you get a good finish with your coats of paint. And of course, it's the preparation that takes all the time. And of course, people get frustrated and they just want to get the paint can open and the paintbrush out. But yeah, the preparation is always the key. If you want a good finish, if you want a blobby finish with lots of runs in it and whatever, yeah, it's up to you, isn't it? You've got to stare at it high. But yeah, try and pick a colour that you can stick with for a few years as well. Then you ain't got to get out there and do it. Guaranteed paints, year paints, yeah, they're good. Because of course the colours shouldn't fade. Also, we go around to Monty, 2W1 TER.
2 Whiskey 1 Tango Echo Romeo. Yeah, Port Merion, lovely little place, Italian village net. It sort of died, it went a bit downhill for years, and then all of a sudden it's become popular again, and they managed to get enough money to redo the place up. But for a while it was all derelict, and you could just walk around and stroll around at will. But yeah, it's all done up posh now. Cost a fortune to stay there as well. Bloke I knew years ago had his wedding there. Yeah, that would have been nice. But everybody dressed up as like Cass from The Prisoner as well. But, oh yeah, what else was we mentioning? Yeah, the weather here has been rank, hammering down all day, and it's just gone really bad grey now, so I think we're in for a bit of a storm again tonight. I'm going to have an early night because I'm not feeling too well. A bit worried actually about it, but we'll see how it goes. Can't do nothing till Monday if I get to see the doctors, but we'll just have to see how it goes. There was something else I was going to mention as well, but I can't remember. Anyway, back to you, Chris. 2 Whiskey 1 Tango Echo Romeo, back to control.
Yeah, Mike 7, Charlie. Well, about scaring people, you Dalek. Hi. But all good. So we will now go around to Gwill, MW3, WMP.
Thank you there, Chris. Yes. I started something when they talked about decoration, didn't they? And the one thing that sticks out in my mind was one of the worst job of my life decorating was to take wood chip paper off the wall. I thought I'd have to burn it off with a blow lamp. Honestly, it took me ages to get it off. So whenever I see wood chip paper, I say, oh, don't bother taking it off. Paint it. Just keep painting it. God grief. Awful. And coming back now to mentioning the Prisoner, it was filmed in 1966 and 1967. I was quite young at the time, so there was a lot of excitement around here. I wasn't aware really at my age, and but a lot of people got employed while they were filming, and they were in Port Merion for quite a long time. The indoor scenes were filmed in the studio in England, but the actual Prisoner itself, and they used to show the clips of it in the cinema in Portmarnock at the time. But yes, a lot of people, they make some nice pocket money out of that, because all the extras came, and they had to dress up, and they still have Prisoner weekends, where they all dress up, and the place is absolutely heaving with people. Still got fans. I've tried watching it, I just can't get into it, so I never bothered. So, but those people who get into it and enjoy it, they're quite mad about it. Because there's a shop in Port Merion called the Prisoner Shop, and you can buy the clothes, you know, the jackets and the different things from there, memorabilia. It's you know, it's quite a thing to the people who are keen on it. So that's what I know about the Prisoner. And the other thing, as I said, was don't try and take wood chip off the wall unless you have all the time in the world. Yeah, I'm going now after this is over, if you don't mind, and wish you all the best. Thank you for letting me in and listening to all your chats, and wish you all the best, M3s, and I'll probably catch you next time on your Ragchew. Thanks again, Chris. Back to you, M7CCS, MW3 WMP.
Yeah, Mike 7, Charlie Sierra, yep, 7-3 to you there, Gwell, and yeah, if I would have been masked with wood chip, yeah, I think I'd just plastered over it, but of course, yeah, unfortunately, yeah, no wood chip present, but the other thing with removing wood chip is you normally remove half of the wall, and that's what I'm worried about with some of the wallpaper, is especially this one that looks like a sticky plastic vinyl kind of thing, is really thin, and then the other paper, I think they call it al fresco or something like that. It was designed for kitchens, and the steamer just doesn't seem to want to attack it very much. So of course, yeah, it was built to withstand moisture, I think, so I think it'll end up with a seal coat over the top of it, and yeah, it'll probably be papered and tiled and whatever anyway, but yeah, it'll end up with a sealer coat over the top of it. So, right, we will just continue around the list. So we'll go to Steve, GW5 VOG, round to you, Steve.
GW5 VOG returning, thank you, Chris. Yeah, I've nobody's answered my question about the big white ball, which I can remember, but I wasn't sure what it was. So I've Googled it, and it was called Rover, which I don't remember that. But it says on Google, Rover is a plot device from the 1967 British television programme The Prisoner, and was a crucial tool used to keep prisoners from escaping the village. It was depicted as a floating white balloon that could coerce, and if necessary, incapacitate or kill recalcitrant inhabitants of the village. There we are. So that's what W.D.R.G needs, a big white ball to get rid of people on CQ Northwest, recalcitrant inhabitants of CQ Northwest. Yep. Okay. Right. One little bit of news. I've got. I've mentioned this before, but you've probably all forgotten. I've got a Moonraker fire spot which is based on an Orange Pi computer board and an MDVM hat on top of it, or at the side of it actually. It fits on like sideways. Anyway, I somehow managed to overpower it, and I put 12 volts through it for some weird reason, and it never worked again. So I realized I could get a replacement. They still make these Orange Pi, the sort of clones of a Raspberry Pi made in China. So I sent for one from AliExpress. It arrived really quite quickly, came by airmail, and it cost £3, the postage. That's the amazing thing, because it costs more than that to send a small parcel to London. Anyway, so I opened it up, all excited, check it was exactly the right board, and then I realised it didn't have the headers soldered on it, and it didn't even come with any headers to solder on. But undaunted, I found some headers. I've got a box of like Raspberry Pi bits. Found some headers, but now the problem is I can't find my soldering irons. I don't know where I've put them, so I can't do it. So I was a bit excited. I'm going to take a pic because I'm coming up to timeout. I was all excited. I was going to resuscitate, bring back to life my Moonraker fire spot, and I can't do it till I find my soldering irons. Then I've got to solder the headers on. I'm a bit cack-handed with soldering, but there we are. Anyway, that's my radio sort of news. So back to you, Chris M7CCS from GW5VOG.
Yeah, Mike 7, Charlie Sierra. Well, yeah, I hope when you find your soldering iron it ain't plugged in, because your fingers will smell like chicken if you pick it up the wrong end. But of course, yeah, that's why normally I do my preparation. I try and get all the tools that I think I'm going to need, then all the bits I think I'm going to need, and then I'll crack on with it. But yeah, it's like a base station soldering iron, so it lives underneath the shack desk, and when I okay, I couldn't see myself going out on the MB6PG dashboard properly. I can now, so that's a lot better. So I must have gone a little bit too. But yeah, Steve, that's the plan. Iron. I hope when you do find it, your fingers don't smell like chicken. And yeah, I am dropping a little bit on this WiresX. A little bit. So we'll put it round to Rod G0EZ. Might have heard me over. Might be like a parrot repeating itself. Over to you there, Rod.
G0EZ. Yeah, it sounds like an interesting project, that, Steve. I've no doubt you'll find the soldering irons soon. I'm a bit like that. I used to be good at soldering. I don't know what I'm saying. Well, it's the eyesight, isn't it? You know, everything has to be done under a magnifying glass. So I have a lamp with a great big magnifying glass on, but it does make it awkward. Trying to solder underneath this great big light with a screen on, you know. So, but yeah, I presume you just need to take the SD card out of the old one and put it in the new one, and away you go. I remember I was screwing a Raspberry Pi board down, and I slipped with a screwdriver and took off what turned out to be an inductor on the Pi board. Of course, it stopped working. Anyway, I managed to find. I had an old. I think it was a Pi 220, I think, or something like that, and it had the same inductor on. So I managed to take one off and put it on the Pi board, and of course that's worked ever since. So I was quite pleased with that, because I'm not too good at SMD soldering either. But there you go, managed to do it. Although I do have a hot air gun to take bits off, you know, take components off the board, but not too good at putting them back on. But there we go, that worked. So yeah, wood chip, horrible stuff. I've done my fair share of that. I found the best way is just to go at it with a Stanley knife. That allows you then to get a little bit of steam into it. But it does, literally comes off in tiny pieces. And like you say, Chris, the big worry is damaging the plaster and having to repair that. But if it comes off with just little dings, they're not too bad to fill, are they? You know. But yeah, I mean, when we bought this house, it was a repossession. And the whole house needed doing, simple as that. You know, I had to put bathrooms in. Time out. Back to you, Chris M7CCS.
There was me, not really hovering over it, but I was able to get to it quick and fast, luckily. Yeah, a couple of minutes before I actually went in and flipped off an audio, I was getting a slight blip on the audio from the gateway, and it's obviously because I'm remoted into it and I've got everything going, and there's a little audio level, you flick it off and it's all good. Of course, yeah, I was resolving that, and then I heard your timeout, so I had to minimise that and then click timeout. So we did manage to do it there, Rod. So next we'll go around to James at 2E0 Victor Whiskey Juliet.
W.D.R.G returning. Yes, a wood chip. That's one. I remember my dad putting it on, probably when I was obviously quite young, and it was very fashionable to have the wood chip all everywhere. And I remember cursing what we had to take off before we could put the wood chip on, and that was pretty difficult stuff to get off. But then I think in those days we didn't really have a steamer; it was just a wet sponge, you know. So it was probably, you know, you don't realize how good these steamers are till you go back to just doing it the old way. But I suppose it was what we were cursing taking off, we're probably putting back on. It's probably going full circle, but there you go. That's just fashion for you, isn't it? You know, it's like a lot of things now, isn't it? It's fashionable. It's sort of 60s styles and things like that. So it's even with clothes, you know, just keep going round in a circle. So there you go. But yeah, soldering, well, I hope you haven't got that net-free solder, because I just don't know how you solder with it. It's horrendous stuff. But I managed to pick up a couple of rolls of solder with lead in them. I think they were one of the supposedly last few available, so I thought I'll stock up. And it wasn't long after I bought those, I found an old rig of my granddad's in the garage. So I inherited his house and consequently his shed. And I occasionally go in the garage and I find something in the 1950s. The best one was the 1950s or 60s de-icer. The time it nearly took your breath away, but it melted the ice and something else, you know. And a lot of those things that come out, the old stuff was, they sure know how to make it work. Probably didn't do much for the planet, but then I think, you know, sometimes, you know, we've got all this water-based stuff, and then we do it 3 times over, and then all the transportation, and you know, the tins being posted, delivered, and made. You know, are we actually gaining anything? We'll be better off with a tin of lead paint that we only do once in a while instead of every 5 minutes. But there you go. But yes, soldiering's a bit of an art. So I used to do it without looking for while. And look, it's a problem. But there you go. Always good to use it well now and again, just to keep your hands in, as it were. Anyway, I'll put it back to you, Chris M7CCS 20 DWJ.
Yeah, Mike 7, Charlie Sierra. Well, especially James there, you managed to time out the Echolink, but the audio still carried coming through, and it literally, the timer just restarted and carried on going. So, yeah, do we call that a timeout or not? It was a timeout in a sense. Yeah, I flicked the button there, quickly unflicked it when it started again. But, yeah, it's all good there, James. And, yeah, I don't have any wood chip in the house. It's just, yeah, I don't really want to swarm anything. I don't want to damage any walls. But I'm thinking go down to 1 layer. And yeah, I should be okay. So yeah, of course they didn't decorate it over the years and the years and the years, because of course if they did, there'd have been about 10 layers there. But yeah, luckily they weren't ones for decorating. So yeah, it's pretty much stuck there, and it's probably stuck there with better wallpaper paste than what you could ever buy now, as well. So all good. So we go right to Monty, 2W1 TER.
Oh, 2 Whiskey 1 Tango Echo. Ah, yeah, wood chip, the bane of every bed sit. God, that stuff was horrible, what it did. I remember in one council house and the blokes had come round to do something and they were steaming the wood chip, and I just looked and went, that's wood chip, you know. And they went, yeah, we know what we're doing. And he steamed and steamed and steamed and steamed. And I was like, well, I've got to make a cup of tea because I can see where this is going. And when I was in the kitchen making a cup of tea, I heard this grumble and a lot of swear words, and yeah, all the plaster had come off as well because they'd soaked it too much and it took the whole wall down. Horrible stuff. But that's the way it goes. That was a council house and they had to fix it. That wasn't my problem. But as for Rover, the beastie of the bay, that was actually an ad-lib thing because they wanted something and they couldn't afford what they wanted, and I think one of the producers noticed the weather balloon being let off down at the lifeboat station or something, and he went down and bought 30 or 40 of them and they used them. It was a spur of the moment thing, I think. Yeah, very interesting. I did read up on it years ago, but I can't remember. I'm not that much of a spot of it. But yeah, a lot goes on up there as well. They have the steampunk weekends and everything. And yeah, it's a really popular place now. Really popular, but yeah, it was a thing of its day. If you watch it nowadays, you can tell it is a program of its day. Let's say that. But it's nostalgic. But yeah, Rover. 2 Whiskey 1 Tango Echo, back to control.
Yeah, Mike 7, Charlie Sierra. Well, you say Rover, I think biscuits. Or, because I've never seen it, but no parents can explain to me, I understand it, I would have been thinking like a robot dog Rover. But, yeah, but of course, yeah, the vehicles they use on the moon, wasn't that called a Rover as well? I don't know. Yeah, there's a long forgotten Long Bridge rover. Well, not so much forgotten, but yeah, it is one, isn't it? Yeah, that's all good. We've done Monty. I'm looking round. Grill said 7-3. We have got a few minutes left on the clock, but we will do the go round and do the last over and the 7-3 round. So we go round to Steve G.
W5DR-G returning. Hopefully you passed it over to me then. You got sort of cut off in your prime a little bit. So I didn't quite catch what you said there at the end. I think you said it's a 73 round though. I did catch that bit. Yeah, so 73 to everybody. Very enjoyable net. Shame about our cqnorthwest brethren that we lost. But I think next week, when you come on at 3 minutes before 7:30 and say, point out that we're taking over the talk group, we perhaps we could keep talking for that 3 minutes and make sure no one else gets in somehow. Yeah, Port Marion, I think Monty was saying it's very expensive. That's what I mean, I haven't looked for ages and ages, but in the past I would have loved to have stayed there. But when I looked at the costs, you can hire cottages and they're extortionate, but you can stay in the hotel and that was not quite as extortionate, but fairly. So I don't know what it's like now, whether it's more reasonable. And I'm a bit richer now as well. I was when the kids were young and we were, you know, money was too tight to mention. Money. Yeah, I'll have to return one day. Anyway, 73 to everybody. Great to hear from you all. Best wishes to everyone and your families, etc., etc. So back to the net controller. M7CCS from W5DR-G.
Yeah, thanks very much there, Steve. And yeah, I suppose we've got 5 minutes. We've got 5 minutes of live stream. Yeah, it does start a little bit soon, my live stream, but of course, normally, yeah, we're having a pre-nerved cigarette and whatever, while the live stream's going and whatever. But there's nothing wrong with the members of the Ragchew having a pre-Ragchew chat. Yeah, if you start it before 20 past, it's guaranteed to still be going through. Yeah, that's one of the ways, but I'm sure I'm going to learn of what happened tonight because, of course, yeah, it's been linked back in, and I think we linked it, as in W.D.R.G, and it's been linked back in, and it has been for quite a while there without any disruptions. I would say about 20 minutes it's been there, Steve. Yeah, your last 2 overs, it's been there, but yeah, 7-3 to you there, Steve, and yeah, my logs did update, so we go round to Rod G0 EUZ.
G0 EUZ. Yeah, it's been a good net despite the problems, but yeah. Port Marion, it must be at least 20 years since the last time I went. Yeah, and I enjoyed it. It was very nice, and I do remember the prisoner, and I remember watching it real endlessly. Although really, when you think about it, it was a little bit on the shallow side. It was the same thing over and over again. What was it called? Patrick McGeown, something like that. the actor. But yeah, enjoyed it. But there you go. So I'll say 7-3s, everybody. And I hope you all have a good week. And hopefully we'll catch some of you on Wednesday. And most of you next Saturday. 7-3s for now. M7CCS G0 user.
Yeah, Mike 7 Charlie Sierra. Yep, 7-3 to you there, Rod. And of course, yeah, looking back through the W.D.R.G chat, I'll say hi to Julian as well, M0MQH. And of course, yeah, he's listening via cqnorthwest on the Peanut. Oh yeah, I can see him there on my remote system, where I've got Peanut running. I can see him sat there. So yeah, we might get a 7-3 from him. He did listen avidly on the Shell Island net. But yeah, be nice to get Julian on there. So that's all good. So I've chucked him in the log anyway. And of course, yeah, it's only an over and a 7-3. So next we go round to James via the Echolink 2E0 Victor Whiskey Juliet.
Victor Whiskey Juliet. Yes, it's gone great this evening. I suppose you had a few on, and quite nice to hear quite a few off from Wales. And yeah, hopefully the CQ Northwest glitch thing won't happen next week. But yeah, it's a bit of a learning curve, something new, isn't it? There's always a glitch possible, so I mean that was this week's glitch, wasn't it, really? But there you go. But yeah, I'll say 7-3 for all. It was great to hear everybody on, and look forward to the next week and go again. So I'll say 7-3 all. Good to hear everybody, and until the next time, back to control. 2-0 DWJ.
Yeah, Mike 7 Charlie Sierra. Yep, 7-3 there, James. And yeah, good to have you back there. And of course, yeah, the amount of times I come past Evesham, you know, it's at least twice a week. Because of course, yeah, young Harry has got himself a girlfriend in Bideford, or Bidford, something like that. So of course, yeah, he always wants to go there, or she wants to come there. So of course, a lift is involved. Not always got the radio and a mag mount on though nowadays. But yeah, I've got my mobile hotspot, which I'm actually looking at. Which yeah, I'm not going to speak too soon, but it's done the whole audio since I switched over to my own audio on the live, and it's done it without missing a beat. Because funnily enough, that hotspot is actually on the Brandmeister network as well. It's on all the UK talk groups, all of yeah, it's not on all the busy stuff, but it's all on all the UK talk groups. So 235, 23550, 23575, which is the Salad cluster, Northeast, Northwest, etc. And yeah, it's stayed fixed on XLX 042D talk group 6 because we've kept the activity going through it. So of course, yeah, it's kept the hotspot fixed there. So yeah, and soon I'm going to go around to Monty 2W1 TER for your 7-3.
Whiskey 1 Tango Echo Romeo. Yeah, 7-3's all. Good chats again. Nice to hear everybody on. And yeah, that thing with the other group, that happened a couple of weeks ago as well. And I tried getting through, what was I on? Echolink. And there was other people on there, they didn't realise it was a net. It got confusing as hell. But yeah, there was something else I was going to mention, but I forgot, but I'll try. I'm going to start taking notes. I'm going to have to get pen and paper, because the conversation wavers and wanes so much. But 3 people or 4 people ago, somebody will say something, you go, oh, and then 4 other people mention things that also jog your memory, and you forget everything else. So anyway, this is 2 Whiskey 1, Tango Echo Romeo, giving it 7 threes to everybody. Hugs and kisses.
Yeah, Mike 7, Charlie Sierra, yeah, 88 to you there, Monty. So we will see if we'll get a separate from Julian, and maybe an over, M0, MQH. No, he jumped out of the peanut as soon as I said about getting an over. But of course, yeah, we'll get him in there as listening anyway. He was listening. So, of course, we've had the net tonight. We had our disruption at the beginning. We sorted it out. We carried on. It's all good. And so, of course, all sorted out there. So, until I click this button, and yeah, all sorted out there. But I click this button and we get some audio. There we go. So, of course, yeah, we had no audio there, just for that one, because I couldn't go the end screen while we were in the middle of the net to actually swap the audio over. But I have now. So, in the net tonight we had GW5 at V.O.G, N6 UTC, G0 EUZ, 2E0 Victor Whiskey Juliet James, 2W1 CER Monty, MW0 AXD Andy, M7 EMH Chris was this network, UMP Gwil in North Wales. Andy had MB6PG-L stroke L connected into Echolink.
M7CCS listening, and of course, yeah, we've had far too many. Have we had far too many of us talking to actually bring up those call signs? I can go back quite far on my list, so I will go back. So yeah, I can go all the way back there. So I will give a shout out to Richard G there at the beginning, and W.D.R.G
I've been Mike 7 at Charlie Sierra. Hope Ragchew Net again next week. And of course, yeah, we've found our solution and we've got a throw switch. So it's all good. So thanks very much everybody that joined the net, stuck with it and came in to the Wales Ragchew Net. I'm actually trying to find the last bit, 7 for real. And later down the log.